And hello and welcome to today's edition of Route 664, the road to human kindness. So why is Route 664 the road to human kindness? Well, Route 664 is the indicator of a way for you to make the world a better place to live in. And that's using section 664 of the tax code, which allows you to do some amazing things for yourself, build a huge endowment that you can use to live on yourself, and then pass that endowment into the community. And that was given to us by Congress in 1969. In their infinite wisdom, they were very smart. They've discovered a way to help solve a lot of problems. You don't hear that every day. Thank you, Wanda. So you got a way for everybody to take care of themselves, be independent, know that you can accumulate something that nobody can take away from you. You can make it as huge as you want to with regard to the income production that it's going to have by using non-cash and cash assets. You can avoid taxes and you can get tax deductions. What is better than that? And that's all using Section 664, or what we call the social security sections of the tax code. The social security sections are the ones that deal with the 664 trust, which is also a charitable remainder trust, pooled income funds, and charitable gift annuities. So to that end, we've created the Discovery 664 Academy, and the Discovery 664 Academy is a way for you to become your own ambassador, an ambassador for yourself and an ambassador for the public, to help you get through the financial miasma of how miasma. That's a great word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me write that down.
The financial maze that's out there. And it was interesting. One of the ladies that's working in our public relations area, everybody is required now to take this ambassador course so that we know how to communicate it properly. And her comments coming back to me were very interesting. She said, let me find it 1 second.
Oh.
She said, speaking to somebody, listen, Erica, I'm going through the course and I passed chapters 1 and 2. Oh my God, definitely not easy. It's super complex, especially for someone with zero background in finance or economics. Schools don't teach taxes or basic accounting, and I never learned any of this in college either.
Nope.
Now I'm just here realizing how unprepared I am for the real world finances. Honestly, this course is not for the average person unless they study business or finance. I'm sure at your house, this stuff is second nature since you both are in business. The reason I'm reading that to you is because there is no place to get a financial background, financial education that is usable. It's segmented. You can go into certain industries, but there's nothing that really explains how you get along in the world on an economic basis. And so when Elizabeth, the lady that wrote this, took the first course, which was how to sell appreciated stock, and the second course was a little bit more complex. It was how to change your tax bracket. She didn't know what tax bracket meant. She had to look it up on Google. She didn't know a lot of things. So you got to understand that we're dealing with new language, new things that you may not have heard before. And it's very important that you understand what they are so that people aren't talking gobbledygook. We get a lot of gobbledygook.
I got it. I'm writing this down. Gobbledygook. Okay.
So
what
you
was that
got
first word again?
Miasma.
Miasma. How do you?
MIASMA. So you have an opportunity using the Discovery 664 Academy and the Ambassador course to get a financial education that's going to be meaningful. And it goes into the issues of the 5 financial hazards and how you protect against that and how you do things for yourself to make your life better and make it a more financially sound, and also to take a lot of stress off of you. So I want to talk about something that's in the news today, and that is we're discovering it's like we all live in a condo association, or if anybody knows how to live in a condo association, but live in a condo building, and you have a condo association that runs the affairs of the condo. Now you're required to pay your maintenance. You got to have to pay the maintenance so that the condo association can run the affairs of the building. So now you pay your maintenance, and let's say you find out that the amount of maintenance that you're paying is twice as much as it should be because half of what is being spent is not being used properly. How would you feel about that? That's the feeling I'm getting now when I see the mismanagement of money, and it's on a very grand scale. And unfortunately, when you look at it from a government perspective, you don't relate to it the same way as if it was a condo perspective. And we have had a situation where we had a lot of mismanagement in the condo, and we got it straightened out, and we ended up collecting back a very large sum of money from the insurance company for the fraud that was committed by that. And that's one of the issues. And so there's a clawback going on where we're going to take back a lot of keep what we shouldn't be spending on other things. So I wanted to say something about that because there's a lot of talk about the Doge dividend, what may be given back to the people because of the mismanagement of the condo association board. And so what do we do with that? How do we make that dividend? And I have a recommendation because I think one of the things that is going to be true about a lot of this is going back to the states. So what I'd like to see is all of that savings come in the form of block grants to states, and the states need to allocate that block grant for several purposes. But one of the main purposes is to actually improve or to generate more financial economic soundness through one of the best assets that we have, and that is our children. And I think that what the block grant should be doing is to allow the states to create a way of providing a 2 years of employment to 18-year-olds. When anyone turns 18, male or female, they get employed by the state for 2 years with the purposes of discovery, growth, and education. And I think that would be a way for us to capture the great asset that we have in our young people. It will be a great way for us to give them a head start in education. The 2 years can be applied to the first 2 years of college. It can be applied to learning technical skills, learning either occupational, depending on what the individual wants to do. How great is that?
Focus.
Yeah, focus. And we would help young people do more for themselves and for their future families and for the country as a whole. And so I'd love to see that happen. And that would be a very effective way of turning around something that has been mismanaged into something that would be managed great. And I think that getting that message out would be great if we could do that. So we have a lot going on right now with the Route 664. Of course, the radio station is still pumping out.
Oh,
Wanda has been doing an amazing job.
Yeah. It's fun.
So now, are you going to focus more on jazz?
I am. Les decided he needs a break, so he's given one.
Different Les.
Okay. I mean, what place are you going to get that? Get to hear yourself say that. Too many Les's.
Yeah.
But Haber,
yeah,
that is retiring. At the ripe age that he's ripe at.
Okay.
So anyway, I decided to jump in and try my reins at the jazz
Good.
show.
I heard them.
Fun.
And I know you did Porgy and Bess and Carmen.
Well, we focused on opera, the operetta of Porgy and Bess, and then Carmen, and then coming up this week we have African American conductors.
Fantastic.
So
So
it'll be cool.
tune in, route664.org radio, and you can get there on an app.
Yeah, route664.org. You go there, you'll get the app from there, or you can go on any of the app stores.
Yep. And you'll hear more about what we're doing as well with regard to Route 664,
Yeah.
because that is the road to human kindness. And of course, ultimately,
positive stuff.
Yeah. Ultimately, we want you to be educated about how we're doing what we're doing and why we're doing it, and the theory of social charity, which is a very important part of this process. So one of the other things that I wanted to say about the block grant, if they do the block grant, some of that should be used to set up these social charity accounts for these 18-year-olds. And when you set up that social charity account for the 18-year-old, you have the block grants that are going to be funding that. So the states are not going to have an issue with that. States are not going to have to raise your taxes to be able to do that, which is really important. And it will be, I think it's going to be a terrific opportunity for every youngster to see a future. Starting when they're 13 years old, I think they need to be focused. They know that at age 18, they're going to be employed. They're going to have an opportunity to discover for themselves what they're best at, what they want to do, and what they want to focus on going forward. And it's all going to be funded, and they'll be employed, and they'll be independent, and they'll actually get paid, and they won't be at home, and they won't be on the streets, and they won't be in drugs, and they won't be in these other things. They'll be disciplined. They'll be part of a team. And it's really a great way for them to look forward to something of value in the future. So the road to human kindness,
these other things,
is paved with this.
No, you're talking about the youngsters and the other things. I'm wondering what the other things might be.
Well, the other things that you pave it with are
that they
endowment engineers have to be involved, because the endowment engineers help to pave the road for more complex issues. We want you to be able to pave your own road easily, but you're going to have complex tax issues that may come up in the future where the use of social charity is going to be a tremendous advantage. And so endowment engineers are the other things that we're talking about. We want
an endowment engineer will introduce you to your wealth.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
How to manage it and make it worth more by eliminating taxation.
And then you just leave it to your favorite charity, and you live on through the multiple hands that are involved in nonprofits and getting it to the right bodies and hands and peoples.
Right.
And pets.
Yeah, changing communities, making the communities more self-sufficient. There's no reason why every community couldn't have an endowment-paid hospital so that people could be treated and not have to worry about payment. It'll lower the cost of medical insurance. It does a lot of things. This whole process of changing from an indebted America to an endowed America. And that's what this is all about. We want to create endowment. We want to create endowment for the individual first, and then they pass that endowment into the community the way that they see fit, what they want to take care of, what they think is important. We may want to allocate a certain amount to, healthcare, a certain amount to making sure that the streets are safe, want to make sure that the schools are great. Those are all things that can be done using endowment and the whole theory of social charity. So I'm very optimistic about what's going on. I think we're in a
I'm always optimistic about what's going on.
Yeah.
Now, tell me something. If someone wanted to talk to all the single folks out there who might be, because I think there's a lot more people aging, either they've lost a spouse or they're going to be over 60. You always talk about the person that dies on the day of retirement and can leave nothing to anyone, really. But if they had a social security account, all the good that they could do and leave, what would they leave behind?
That would be preemptive, which is what we want. We want that to be the forerunner to that event happening. And if that was the case,
so there's a single 65-year-old roaming the streets out there. What would you say to them? About
stop roaming the streets. It's not good for you. But what would I say to them? Here's the thing.
Yeah,
I can give you a real life example, of a situation where a lady has become widowed. She's late in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
She never handled any of the finances of the family. She never handled the checkbook. She never did. All that was done by her husband. She was kind of kept in the dark. And then he dies. Turns out he has a will that was done 30 years ago, was never updated. There are people in the will that have been deceased.
Oh boy.
It makes for a very complicated estate for that purposes. There's real estate involved. They own the real estate jointly, but she can't do anything because the joint real estate is not available until it's satisfied through probate. And then you have there are a lot of other issues. But what is bothersome to me is that there was no preparation for what happened. I mean, it wasn't looked at for a long time. And I think that that's one of the things that you have to do on a regular basis. You need to look at your current situation on a, let's say, every year or every 2 years, and also understand what it is and communicate what it is. One of the things that the widow was upset about, it was never communicated to her what her husband's thoughts were. She found out there were loans that were made that she wasn't aware of. Now she has huge mortgage payment that she wasn't aware of. It's a financial nightmare, and there is a piece of solace there. There is a pot of money that was available that we found, but if it wasn't found, we
Due
wouldn't
to
be able
endowment engineering.
Yeah, due to endowment engineering.
There you go.
I don't want to make sure that that's a common thread here, is that there's somebody who is looking after this in a way that makes sense for the future. So here's a lady that has expenses that are greater than her income, but she has assets, and the assets need to be turned into income. And when we turn these assets into income, there's going to be a lot of tax to pay unless we do it in a better way. She needs a lot of income to be able to satisfy what she wants to do, where she wants to live in the future, and she would be available, but we have to make sure that we do it in the most tax efficient way so that the end result will produce the revenue that is necessary for her to live on, the income for her to live on. And that's endowment engineering. That's in its core. That's really the base. And also when you look at that, everything has to be considered. She does have other financial hazards. She could pass. What are her arrangements? Does she have a will? Does she have a trust? Does she have things to protect the people that she wants to leave it to from probate? What does she want to do? This lady loves opera.
Yay!
Opera.
Tune in.
Opera is her whole life. She was friends with Pavarotti. She's amazing life. And she'd like to help the opera, at the end of the day. Maybe
Absolutely.
That's what she would like to do.
Thank you. We love the arts.
So here's a real life example of unprepared when dying too soon is a factor. And unfortunately, the dying too soon was at age 90. So it's not that soon.
Not soon enough.
And but everybody needs to look at this from that perspective. Is there something that you could be doing? I think also nobody knows who to turn to. So the endowment engineer needs to remember that when you go through the course to become an endowment engineer, you're going through an ambassador course. The ambassador course is a relationship course. It's a relationship between you and your wealth and the community. And when you go through the ambassador course, you're going to get a flavor for everything that is in the ambassador course and what it can be used to do in order to benefit everybody. And so you can take it a step further and go to the endowment engineering space, which means that you're now an ambassador who knows how to relate this issue and what to deal with as far as that relationship is concerned. And now they're going to pass that information on to others to help others and get paid for it as endowment engineers, because that is a profession. We can certify you as an endowment engineer. You can use that as a means to as a business, because it is a business opportunity. There are a lot of people who need the services of endowment engineers. But the point that I was making is that endowment engineers can help an individual solve a lot of those problems, and you have to be able to have that kind of advisor in your mix. The endowment engineer generally becomes the quarterback. The endowment engineer generally becomes the person that is going to identify what has to be done, and then it gets divvied up between the other advisors. You got to go to an attorney to do that. That's what the attorney is going to do. Then he's going to also ask you about what are your taxes like? Let me see your tax returns. What happens in your tax situation? How much tax are you actually paying? What bracket are you in? What are the steps that we can take to maybe reduce those taxes? And that's going to be in accordance with your CPA. Your CPA is another advisor that's going to be in the picture, going to provide us with the tax information for your situation. Then you have investments, so your financial advisors are going to be there. You're going to have other professionals that'll be maybe handling real estate. All of those are specific to their area, but the endowment engineer takes all of that and brings it into one picture. And then when there's a tax crisis, the endowment engineer can do a blueprint to help the individual solve the tax crisis using their other advisors.
Okay, Professor.
Yeah. Yes.
Let the students breathe a little bit. Okay. Whew, that was a lot of information, folks. So we're gonna
take a rest. Sleep.
I've got a question, and I want to help others digest.
Okay.
Now, you say that the endowment engineer is like the quarterback. What if it's soccer?
Is what?
What if it's soccer?
Soccer. Okay.
I'm trying to relate it from
team
each
captain.
Sport. Team captain. Team captains. Okay.
Yeah, team captain. Yes. Team captain. You're the owner, and you hire a team captain, and the team captain.
What about in hockey? What would it be?
Or the coach. I think it's better that you're a coach.
Oh, coaches.
Yeah, a coach is better in that mix, and I think the quarterback is. Okay, there is a difference.
Monkey wrench.
A coach is teaching in soccer. It's a little different. The quarterback is running the game for the offense.
Yeah.
So basically, the reason why we use the word quarterback is because it's making things happen.
Okay.
So I think the coach designs the overall thing. So the engineer is actually a coach.
But the quarterback calls the plays, kind of.
Yeah. Well, the quarterback is the field general. If I have,
because I don't really understand the football. I don't really understand any of the sports. So I thought, well, what if someone doesn't know what a quarterback really does?
Yeah,
and you're saying an endowment engineer is like a quarterback. I'm just saying. So what if it's soccer? What if it's baseball?
Yeah. How do we relate it to other things?
Basketball.
Yeah, exactly. So it's somebody that's doing a game plan.
Got it.
And then implementing the game plan using other people.
Yeah.
So that's in the endowment.
Definitely an all-star.
And it is a quarterback.
All right, we'll go with quarterback then.
Okay.
Everybody, study up with quarterback. These are your words for today. Miasma, gobbledygook, and quarterback. Now, you said block grant.
Yes.
I've never heard. I haven't. That seems new to me. Is this a new term?
Yeah. So the block grants
talk more about that.
Yeah, block grants are ways for the federal government to distribute money in blocks to causes. Now, they've made block grants to a lot of other things, but the block grant means that there's more than just one entity that's receiving the money in a particular way.
Got it.
So if we're going to give block grants to the states, it means that the government is going to give a certain amount to the state. What they're going to base that on, we don't know. Maybe population, maybe land mass, I don't know. But they're going to make a block grant to the state for purposes that the state will then be able to use. And they can make a directive. They can say, we're going to give you this block grant because we want to improve the education and the service of individuals, young individuals in your state. We'd like you to give this block grant, use this block grant to hire 18-year-olds to serve the state for 2 years. And in that 2 years, what we talked about before, that's how that would be funded. And the reason for the block grant coming from the federal government, because what happens now is instead of block grants, the federal government's basically doing all the jobs, and they're not. That's not their job. The federal government does not have. It's not in their capacity to make these things happen. These are things that have to happen at the state level because the state is closer to the people and can make the distributions better for that purpose. So I think the block grants are really good. I think that they should return. If they find trillions of dollars, I mean, let's just
find trillions.
Yeah, let's just say they were able to find.
There it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. I don't know whether people are really getting paid as if they're 200 years old or from Social Security, if they're still getting paid. Kind of defeats the whole concept of what I talk about with living too long, or dying too soon. But it's a possibility. I don't know what they're going to discover. But let's say they found $3 trillion in waste. And they can reduce the budget by $3 trillion other purposes and direct that towards block grants. that's 10,000 a person in the United States. 300 million people. $3 trillion is $10,000 a person. That's a lot.
Found it.
That's amazing amount of money.
Pretty cool.
So if they found that, what would they do with it? And that's how you would fund this. I think we're on the cusp of real economic change.
If we could just find that money.
We're in the economic world.
It's like a treasure hunt.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. We like treasure hunts.
When you get something, when you find something,
that's how you get the kids involved. It's a treasure hunt, kids.
Slot machines,
or it's codes.
You know why slot machines are good?
Tell me.
Because you get rewarded every so often, and that's why you keep doing it.
It's not the bells and all the
no,
and the things
you want to get
around.
You want to get the 3 7s. When you get the 3 7s, you know why you play slot machines.
All right,
but life doesn't have to be a gamble. It can be a good thing. You have any
life
other?
Is supposed
any
to
other
be
points?
fun though.
Yeah,
it really is.
I want to talk about the 2 events that are coming up. This is really important. Friday, we're going to be.
We have that video. I just want to make sure that everyone sees that food. I'm really serious about the food that's going to be at this party, folks.
Okay, this is
the
regatta.
We'll talk more about it coming up.
The regatta.
Yes, the regatta coming up. Salvation Army. Check it out.
Okay.
Welcome to the first annual Red Show Regatta. My name is Kurt Nichols. I'm the chairman of the advisory board, and I'm so excited about tonight. The regatta tonight is about bringing people together and supporting and celebrating Plymouth Colony. Plymouth Colony is one of the most important transitional homeless shelters in Broward County. Salvation Army does an amazing job, and it's important that we all stand together and celebrate what they've accomplished and support their future growth.
This is an exciting moment. We've been working on this for a long time, the Salvation Army of Broward County. We're thrilled to see everyone gathered here tonight to celebrate, to come out not only for fun, but for philanthropy, to invest in a cause that's bigger than all of us, but together we can make an impact.
The program has been immensely successful, over a 90% success rate, so we're here supporting that effort tonight, and it's going to be beautiful.
With this event, we plan to help our housing project, Plymouth Colony. We have 38 apartments that house families that don't have a place to stay, and we hope to sponsor each family for the rest of the year, or at least 2 years more. And we hope to see you soon, and thank you for all the support.
A lot of fun. It's $150 a person, so you can still make a reservation and go.
The silent auction, great food, and it is when?
March the 8th.
Excellent. And we have a booth.
It's a Saturday, and it's from 6 to 10, and we'll be there, you and I. You'll be signing copies of your book.
I will be.
Book, Social Charity.
I would love to meet people. I love meeting new people.
And also, we're going to be at the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce golf event. We're sponsoring a couple of holes there. And
how are we going to be at 2 holes in one time?
Yeah, that's a problem. We'll have to split up.
We'll have to run back and forth.
But I'm going to be playing.
See how he is.
The thing is, the whole purpose of what we're doing there is to help support some charities. One of them is the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce Education Foundation, and we're going to use our pooled income fund to help support that, and we're going to be giving people information about that at the tournament. It's one of the things that we're doing, and of course, very important that you tune into Spotify, to Discovery 664, the .com. This the podcasts that we're doing are there, and you'll get more information about the Discovery 664 Academy and also everything that we're doing to make the world a better place.
Yeah,
and
everything we're doing.
And to spread the idea of human kindness.
Yeah, I like that part.
Yep.
That's my favorite part, the kindness part. So, if you want to listen to some great music and some more information, you can always find that at route664.org. New jazz show starting, well, I guess it's starting this week, next week as well. So we're doing a little changey Rooney with that, and it's going to be fun. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
get the
enjoy
app.
it.
Go to Apple and get the app. It's Route 664.
But the jazz show will be live Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern and Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern.
And you'll get to hear Wanda live.
I'm excited because it's like an adventure. I love a new adventure.
I think it's great.
So
Great seeing you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
bye.